They'll run on first down. It's Hubbard. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll set up a throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. He'll drop to throw. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to give it to Ridley. Darius Slay with a pick. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Time will tell if that's an interception that rattles the rookie here. First drive on the road. And you know the discussion going into the game? Centered on, okay, let's get out nice and easy. Take care of the football. We're on the road. You're a youngster. Let's not make mistakes early. But now the conversation will shift to, okay, put it behind you. Move on. Long way to go in this one. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hawkinson. First down Lions on a pickup of 13. They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency. And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pre-game. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time to Johnson. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards. Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Johnson. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22. That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Here we go, here we go. 18 Gator.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Johnson's got it complete. I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
Set, ready? 60 or. Topper, get it.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Ty Johnson, his first touchdown on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January. And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division.
Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
You got nothing. Shoot.
2nd and 10. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now Johnson. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. From 19 yards away. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
McManus's point after is good. And that'll make the score 14-0. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Second and 9 now. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just 1 throw.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Mike is 59.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Sheldon Rankins able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Operating from the gun. Herbert, he's going to rifle one. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes the score 21-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 27 yards there, a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one goes for 30 yards. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have...
And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. As they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
A running play on first down will get 4 up to the 29. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Johnson. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Looking to throw. Herbert. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
First and 10.
Hey, box truck.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. First down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, it just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
The throw right sideline here is complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Watch the shit. Look, squeeze. Get it.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On 3rd down, Herbert. And that's caught by Smith. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. They'll drop the throw. And this is going to be incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 49-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Ready? 15 line. 15 line. 22-jet bombers. 22-jet bombers. Now.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. McManus's point after is good. And the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
The Falcons take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
36, 36. Shoot.
Now back to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, and it'll bring up third down. Well, you got a young quarterback. You know, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1.
The Lions take over first and 10 at their own 42-yard line.
Ready, set.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get into field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you call multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Ready?
On first down, Herbert nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Taken down back at the 49-yard line.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Let's go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check nickel, let's go.
They go to Johnson again. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back to throw. Herbert. Open man is Galladay, complete. A gain of 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Again, it's Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll run it with Johnson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Johnson. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. On 3rd down, Johnson. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Here we go. 94.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. So stuff from the 2. Now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action.
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
Ready.
To Johnson again. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Ty Johnson with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point from McManus is good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
We coming all day.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Hey, check 24. 59's Mike. 59's Mike. Check, 59. Watch.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Back to throw here. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Derwin James with a pick. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back.
We go set. 18 Gator. 80 weapon.
Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Check.
Hustle.
The busy night continues for Johnson. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. McManus's point after is good, and that will extend this big lead. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They'll look to throw. This one caught by Ridley. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
To Calvin Ridley. A gain of 18 yards, but it brings up...
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They're going to look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And that one incomplete. They tried to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this third quarter of play. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
It's now 3rd and 9.
The Lions on third down. They haven't been stopped yet. A perfect 7 for 7. This is 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Herbert. The open man is Smith. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. First down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. Room here to run. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson taking it in as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Able to push his way through. Now a hit and a loose football.
Let's go. Do it.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover.
I got you, son. I got you. 59.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards is the pickup, good for a first down for the Falcons. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The Falcons on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This time it's 3rd and 3. Back to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
First down, Falcons.
Let's go. 70 ending. 58 to Mike. Eddie Weber. Screen. Screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Check, 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 check. 58. 58. 58 to Mike. Watch twist. Watch twist. Watch twist.
Back to throw now on first down. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
He'll drop to throw. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
He don't want it. Kill, 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 kill.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2.
Watch the pass. Check. 58. Watch the slant. 58.
Again, he'll drop the throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Quan Alexander. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. The 20. 10. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
25-yard line.
Down.
The Detroit
18.
offense ready to begin their drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Here's Sam Martin now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It's taken to the 26. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
Be honest.
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going
Exactly.
forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
You're not going to want that feeling again.
no, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Second and 10. is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
Incomplete. Intended for Austin Hooper. Third down and 10.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Lions, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And now they'll have the short week ahead as they'll host their annual Thanksgiving Day game on Thursday. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, the run to begin the season is over as they drop to 9-1 now on the year. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.